Yeah, looking back at this particular footage, it's a little bit more creepier than it was before.
Beginning for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Everyone left, but Bieber, who's having a mental breakdown. It looks like he is dealing with some significant issues right now. All of this, as a lot of people are saying, it's correlated with the upcoming criminal trial of Sean P. Diddy Combs, as now in just a few hours from now, May 5th, we will have the first hearings officially beginning when it comes to jury selection in the trial of the Democratic satanic Hollywood industry that, of course, everyone is paying very close attention to. As some people are saying, there's a chance that Diddy might get off, as he usually does. As this video will highlight all the latest updates leading up to this. I have one of my friends that's going to be at the trial, so we're going to actually try to get him to video in, call in to get us updates live as it happens, as it develops, because there's so much reporting around this that is not connecting the dots on some very key important issues. And this court proceeding is in the Southern District of New York with some of the government officials that usually like to cover up the bigger associations that are more politically linked, like they always previously have before. I'm looking at the Maxwell, Epstein, Sam Bankman-Fried cases, all of which were kind of larger conspiracy cases that just went home to roost, went home to not really be mentioned or talked about at all ever since, of course, going through those proceedings that a lot of people believe were codified in a way that protected a lot of very powerful people. Now, let's just get right into it. So there's, of course, a lot of powerful people, and there's rumors that there could be celebrities right now that could have to be forced to testify. We're going to see, because I expect some major fireworks here that we're going to be getting here. I expect some surprises, and of course, not really political surprises, more about probably entertainment-linked surprises, as there's also going to be a lot of victims coming forward. We know who one of the victims is, but Diddy is being accused of abuse, threat, coercion to, quote, fulfill his adult desires, and trying to, of course, conceal and cover up his conduct, as the federal prosecutors are talking about substance-fueled adult performers, performances, coercion, threats, violence, and these are some very serious allegations, as there will be now people going forward and speaking out against him. As victim one, a lot of people believe, was the woman that, of course, was seen being beat up in the hallway of a hotel, which we now found out, by the way, that video will be actually be able to be played for the jury. Now, it's going to be very hard finding jury members that are going to be completely unbiased in this particular case here, because this has been a major story for a very long time. It's going to be very difficult to find someone who doesn't have an opinion on this, as the jurors are probably going to be going through a lot of important vetting. Now, Diddy's lawyers wanted 72 questions asked to jurors. They wanted them to go through all of the questionnaires in order to be kind of selected here, and we will see how slow or fast this process will be moving this upcoming 8 a.m. Monday morning, as the judge ruled that 72 questions was just a little bit too much here, as the judge here now will be deciding how these jurors will be picked. And it will be interesting to see the individuals that are going to be there. Of course, do not expect this case to be televised, as the Southern District of New York does not televise their court proceedings, and we definitely will not be getting any type of video, since there is an overwhelming amount of concern about jury manipulation. Now, there's RICO charges, there's Fed charges, but I think one of the most important developments here. It's not about Diddy being able to pick his outfit, as of course this was also something that was being argued by Diddy's lawyers. The prosecution was standing up against, but Diddy will be now able to not appear in jail clothes, and he will be able to dress himself as he chooses. He gets to select up to 5 button-down shirts, 5 pairs of shoes, 5 sweaters, 5 pairs of socks, and 2 pairs of laceless shoes, which he will appear in court during the proceedings of which Sean P. Diddy's legal team argued and fought for. But I think the biggest latest development here is that, according to many sources, Diddy rejected a plea deal in this particular case here. Now, that's major. That's big, because that's showing that he's pretty potentially very confident. I would, and this happens a lot here. Now, it all depends on the exact details of the deal here. We don't know exactly what the deal was offered to him, but we do know that he, of course, turned down this plea deal. And still, anything could happen between now and the start of these court proceedings. Let's just be honest with us. There's many of these high-profile cases where there usually is a plea deal made like seconds right before the court proceedings actually start here. So far, it looks like Diddy is not taking the plea deal, and it looks like, according to a lot of the sources that are following this case here, that he is very kind of confident that he does not want to be in jail. This is moving very fast, as it's important to note here. If Diddy probably was on bail, he probably would have been postponing this trial for a very long time. The latest rumors we're getting is that he's sick of being in jail, doesn't want to be in jail, and therefore wants to fast forward this court proceedings as fast as possible, because he believes that he is going to be innocent, and he believes that the jury, the 12 people, 12 peers, will find him not guilty of some of the charges and allegations that the federal government is placing against him. Now, is that going to be happening here? I'll tell you probably what's going to be happening here in a little bit. Before we do and go into some of the more political sectors here that everyone is refusing to kind of touch on and talk about here, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. In just about 48 hours from now, we're going to be doing a range day just for members of LukeUnfiltered.com. We go out there, take a really fun, advanced, challenging class in South Florida, 1 p.m. Eastern, here this Sunday. And it's a lot of fun. Last time a couple members came out, it was great to get to know them. It was great to train with them. It was great to share and talk about personal experiences with them. We're going to be doing it once again, because last time was just too much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And I really look forward to this Sunday, where we get to hit the field and do some really fun stuff. Stuff that, of course, I don't see anyone else doing a part of their kind of members area. We got also master classes, members only videos. I still got to do a meditation video. The last few videos have been meditation videos. They've been pretty good, but I've been hyper focusing on just creating a ton of content for you guys here. So if you appreciate the work and you're feeling generous, sign up. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple. You could also do a one-time donation, whatever you are feeling. If you appreciate the 22 years now, I think it's 22 or 21 years of work that I've been doing for you, I've only been able to like predominantly survive off of your support. So I deeply am very grateful and humbled by all of your support throughout the years. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have been doing for me. Now, outside of the court clothing ruling, there's going to be definitely a lot of emotions flying high during these court proceedings. I'm going to be very interested to see the witnesses, the victims that are going to be brought forward here, as a lot of people are expecting some major fireworks with that. I mean, playing the video of Diddy beating up what a lot of people believe to be victim 1, Casey Ventura, inside of that hallway, inside of that hotel near the elevator. It's going to be damning footage, and it's hard not to get kind of emotional when you're seeing visceral footage of Diddy in a full violent rampage, just absolutely hurting and abusing someone in a court hearing about Diddy abusing and hurting someone. Now, we saw Diddy's legal team try to argue, no, it was edited, it's fake, it's not real. We're not going to show you that video, but it's pretty clear that I don't think it's CGI'd here. And I think Diddy's legal team was definitely stretching the arguments there as much as they could here. What are we going to find out about the baby oil? That's going to be an interesting tidbit there, as the baby oil saga definitely has been dominating the headlines here, as there was shelves full of baby oil that victims claimed Diddy used an entire bottle of just in 5 minutes alone. How do you we don't want to know. As the expected witnesses in this trial will be one of his former partners. It will be a male adult actor, and Casey Ventura. Now, I'm hearing that there's going to be about 11 victims here. But again, some of his people that he was intimate with, a business associate, are also going to be there, that are going to be testifying in this criminal trial, according to many sources. At least 4 witnesses who are expected to testify in Combs at this federal court trial starting next week are accusers who have already filed civil lawsuits against Diddy. Now, Diddy's facing a lot of personal lawsuits, not just federal lawsuits, not just federal crimes here, but there's a lot of individuals coming forward and saying, yeah, Diddy did this to me. I'm suing him personally for damages and emotional, quote, distress here. Now, what's going to be happening in those particular cases will, of course, wane what's going to be happening here in these federal cases. So a lot of this is also being done by a Texas lawyer, Mr. Busby, who has been going after a lot of prominent people out there in the entertainment industry with some interesting charges. But again, Combs pleaded not guilty, and he is still saying he's absolutely innocent here. And he did not commit any kind of racketeering, any kind of conspiracy, any kind of transportation, or engagement in adult trafficking type of engagements there. Now, there are also new allegations from a new accuser that some of these individuals were, quote, long-term girlfriends, were involved in consensual relationships, that a lot of their lives were private. And a lot of this was defined by consent, not coercion. And you do see a lot of predators with a lot of celebrities out there that do try to milk them in more ways than one for their funds and for their money. Now, is Diddy running a criminal enterprise here? I think there's a lot more to the story that we're actually hearing that we're not going to be hearing in this particular court proceedings. Because, and it's sad, because I think there's something bigger here. You don't just become a billionaire. You don't just become the most influential person in this world and conduct yourself in these matters and then videotape all of them and have so much power. I do believe, and I'll tell you my conspiracy theory here in a little bit here, because I have my theory about what's going on here and how it's a lot more politically motivated and linked than we, of course, think it is. But Combs is facing 60 civil lawsuits. Will the 60 individuals come out a part of this case here? And will they all be testifying against P. Diddy? Well, I don't think that's going to be exactly happening here, as there's probably going to be a couple people, part of those civil lawsuits, that are just trying to make a buck off of a situation. And let's be honest, if Diddy's legal team could prove that to the jury, their case becomes that much easier to win, specifically when it comes to some of the predatory nature of the succubis out there and the celebrity hunters out there that are just trying to become famous or become very rich. Now, again, the legal proceedings here are vast, since Diddy has a lot of money. He has a big, huge legal team. Osama bin Laden's lawyer, by the way, just quit Diddy's legal defense too, by the way, which was interesting to say the least here. But the jurors, I think, are going to be determining their fate, and this is why P. Diddy's team wanted 72 questions, surveying them, asking them specific questions. It was ruled that that was too long, covered too many personal topics, especially when it came to past kind of experiences with abuse or domestic violence. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this is all going to be kind of unfolding here, as the jurors are going to be in a separate room. They're going to be questioned. Diddy's going to be able to watch video of this, and then the prosecution and Diddy's team will be selecting the jurors and picking who's going to be there for this particular trial. Now, let's get into some of the conspiracy aspects of this, because I think they're worth talking about. As we have this article from the Mirror. I toured P. Diddy's mansion and made shocking discoveries, including secret tunnels. Yeah, he also was very close, according to a lot of sources, to Hugh Hefner's house. Hugh Hefner also was accused of some really shady, horrible behavior. Now, when looking at these particular cases here, there's always these weird stories of these celebrities just kind of going off and doing some really awful, horrible stuff there. And whether it's R. Kelly, whether it's Harvey Weinstein, whether it's P. Diddy or the Epsteins, I think it's fair to assume here that the legal judicial system looks the other way for a very long time, since a lot of these people are very powerful, since they're very rich, and they're all in one particular club here. Now, it is fair to say that some people just are above the law. Some people just never have to, of course, face any kind of legal scrutinies here. But now when we have clear evidence, and the key details here that I think are very important to pay attention to is that there was video cameras. Now, with there being video cameras here, and then we're having people like LeBron and Nicki Minaj, and then we're having close associations with the Obamas that are, you know, known for getting down, if you know what I mean. Those Obama bros, you know, they have also a lot of serious accusations against them as well. When we have them associated very close with the Clintons, Bill Clinton, you know, the guy who ditched the Secret Service in order to fly on Mr. Epstein's private jet, that guy. Yeah. The guy that, of course, is closely associated with a lot of these type of seedy behaviors. As I think fame is also a hell of a drug here, and it plays a component into all of this, as we saw what happened with R. Kelly. We saw what happened with the Nexium cult here. As, of course, a lot of people are saying that's going to be the fate here of P. Diddy in order to stop him, silence him, as the scuttlebutt, the rumors of what actually happened here was that specifically Diddy was just getting too big for his britches. He was becoming too powerful, and he was going to politicians and extorting them based off tapes and videos he had, and then he extorted the wrong politician, and that's when the federal government said, you know what, sorry, buddy, you just don't do that to us. You don't mess with the club. You don't try to take people down within the club here. Now you're persona non grata. Now we're going to take you up. That is allegedly what happened here. And then we saw during this last election cycle that a lot of the people that were associated with P. Diddy, a lot of the people that said that they wouldn't even get involved politically, got involved politically. It was the who's who's of Diddy's friends and associates that were the biggest cheerleaders and supporters of Kamala Harris. And luckily, all of those top celebrities didn't work here. But if you looked at Diddy, and again, he was a very prominent, powerful billionaire celebrity. Let's not understate his significance in modern society, especially when it came to supporting democratic political values. I mean, this guy was an outspoken critic against Donald Trump, saying this specifically about him before.
We're in a war. Number one, Trump got to go.
And then what?
Anything that's, you know, that is about oppressing us and keeping us down, I want to break his neck. I want to run it out of town.
Again, very politically motivated guy. All within the Democratic Party circles here, which I think now looking at the Clintons, looking at the Barack Obamas, looking at the allegations that they faced, looking at LeBron James also, who has been a big kind of proponent of all of the current things, of the biggest establishment supporters out there. You look at Harvey Weinstein, the mover and shaker. Also friends with Prince Andrew, also friends with Jeffrey Epstein. You look at all these individuals and how they carry themselves in our mainline society. There was an aura of invincibility. There was a number of individuals that were like, we can do whatever we want in this world. And guess what? No one will be holding us accountable because they can't. And I think right now we're finally going through a moment where we're going to actually potentially get some justice here. Or he might just totally get off. As right now, I think the important similar cases that we're going to have to this is what happened with R. Kelly. R. Kelly right now sentenced to 31 years in jail. We also have Vernier, the Nexium cult leader, again, convicted and sentenced to 120 years in jail here. Will Diddy meet the same fate here? Will we be hearing about politicians behind the scenes? Nope. Maybe we'll hear about one or two celebrities during this trial, but I think the Southern District of New York will definitely shut down this case. And I think this case was started because Diddy was extorting some type of politician, and that politician didn't like it, and that politician just set the legalese apparatus against him. That's just my own personal opinion. That's just my perspective. What do you think? Is Diddy getting off, or is he going to be in jail for many decades now? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you think he's going to get off and he's going to be free, press 1. If you think he is going to, of course, be sent to jail for a very long time in order to kind of disappear, press number 2 in the comment section. I always appreciate it. Hope to see you guys this Sunday. And again, all you have to do, sign up here, and then we tell you how to be a part of this range day as soon as you sign in. Check your spam in the Gmail, in your email, to make sure that you're getting all of our emails. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.